So we have two new rules that the SEC is actually proposing in order to force more trading firms to register as dealers and open their books to far greater regulatory oversight. In simple language, the SEC is looking into introducing additional rules on top of those already existing or top of those already proposed to make sure that computer-based trading, algorithm-based trading, which I believe it's one of the main reason why AMC is still trading in the 20s right now, where it should be trading in maybe the $2,000 per share. Yes, you heard that right. So he wants to double down and bring something that will fix what the computers are actually doing, because it's presenting a huge chaos if things don't get changed. So let's just get into the details, because this is really important, folks. I know that some of you, whether they're holding AMC or not, may not really see the SEC as a huge catalyst into this play, or may not see the rules as something that will actually force, because maybe nobody's enforcing the rules. But I mean, maybe it's not happening the way we want it to happen now, but I still believe the rules has a big role to play here in the short quiz to come. So, SEC Gary Gensler said the rules will require algorithm-based, high-frequency traders to come under the regulator's scrutiny as it looks to ensure liquidity. So, if you don't know the high-frequency trading, remember, I shared with you many times, whether it's on level 2, whether it's on the order book, you will see all the orders, especially on red days like where AMC is down 8% or 15%, you will see that, and there is no news, there is nothing. First of all, you will see that all the orders are not even executed on the lead exchange. That is something totally different. But it's also because everything is going through, the door pools where they're being treated by these guys, by these, computer-based algorithm. But those algorithms are actually set up, coded and configured in order to play dirty, meaning you will see 100 orders at 10, let's just say 25, all right? And then you will see 100 who buy at $24.99 and then sell it at $24.96, and then another one buys them at $24.96 and sells them at 23, and then the other one at 24. So they're doing this ping pong thing back and forth. Who do you think is behind that? Algorithm, and they are coded that way. HFT, high frequency trading, and this is why the SEC is worried, because they're worried that these computer-based traders are now acting as a significant source of market liquidity, and alluded to concerns about financial markets at the start of the COVID-19 crisis, because liquidity now, liquidity in the market is definitely important. It's why it's kind of the oil in your engine, the oil that, lubricates and makes everything stay, juicy or well functioning without having to scratch, or to have frictions, because as soon as you have frictions, things start to fall. So in order to prevent that, that's why we have market makers. But those market makers now are pretty much computer-based, meaning all the trading, all the work is being done by computers, and when this happens, literally it means that, well, they can pretty much do whatever they want, especially if they see what we are doing as retail investors, if our orders are not even treated and sent to lead market. So it's a huge problem. All right, now, when are these going to be implemented? We don't know yet, because at this point it's still under the proposed status. And once everything follows the process, and then all these news will require these firms to register as dealer if they regularly make comparable purchases and sales. But another thing is, this will also force some of these companies that are not even being treated as either brokers, dealers, or market makers to start having more transparency. And once we have more transparency, it means there is less chance, there is less probability to actually start pushing the share price as they want it to do, which is already the case. That's why on no news days like today, you will see AMC down, 8%. And of course, the media spreads out the news. But when we are up 30, 40, 50%, nobody talks about that. So just say that, just to say that, it might take the time it needs for this whole market to be fixed, this whole short squeeze, lending, borrowing, double thing to be fixed, but at least they're working on it. And once it gets into effect, I think we should be more real, optimistic than that, because it has a real potential of turning things around if something else hasn't happened before, if you see what I mean.